So here we go, episode 6 of the OurTeam podcast. We've been doing this for, we've done 5 weeks of this now, and it just seems to be building momentum every week that we do it. We're super excited to announce that we've got BIO2K on this one. We'll be talking to him later about all things XP, the XP god that he is. Simple things you can do to support the podcast, guys, are like and subscribe, and of course get the notifications on so you know when this drops each and every week. We'll be discussing all things MyTeam related today, and later on we'll be doing some sort of end of season rewards as well. So these guys aren't ready for this, so they're probably already thinking of awards. But Jakel, how you been doing, man? You've been using my God Squad this week?
Yeah, I got to try out that Kawhi Leonard, the card that I'd never actually get myself. So yeah, it was good to use that card. Like, he is different. He is probably worth it, like in the terms of now, but I feel like the cards in the next couple of weeks are gonna make you feel like that Kawhi really wasn't there with that grind, because that grind, well, watching you guys grind for that, it's honestly, I don't know how you guys do it straight up.
Speaking of that XP grind, Josh, you're trying to chase like 75k XP in like a few days. How's that going?
I mean, it's going, but it's really up to me at this point. Like, it's doable. It's just a matter of, do I really want to do it? And like, is it really worth it? Because I actually recently pulled Terry the other day. So like, that kind of, I mean, I could get Kawhi, but I kind of already got Kawhi in a sense. But I don't know. I think I should still go for him now.
He's better than the dentist. Do you believe the dentist exists now that you've seen him?
Oh yeah, it caught me so off guard. I was literally grinding XP, doing the chill with that offline, and I said, I was like, imagine if I get Terry, and then literally right after I said it, the vault opens and he comes. I was like, my mom had to text me telling me to be quiet because I was in here so loud.
Cool, man. All right, guys, we always kick things off with a question from one of you guys, and please, like right now, go leave a comment right now with something that you want us to discuss. There's so much creativity with our subs, and some of the questions you guys ask us really get us thinking. And this is probably the best question we've had so far, because Josh, I'm going to roast you on this episode. You know what's coming about Westbrook. Like, you know what's coming. The question is, should 2K hold off on announcing the limited reward, basically until it's available, which allows them to build suspense and allows them to update the card so it's relevant once it's released?
No, because what if it was this Russell Westbrook and then we just waited all this time and then boom, it's this card? Yeah. You really want to wait? You like this? No, they need to just add more rewards, or like have a vote on the community should vote for the limited reward. It's a limited supposed to be about the community, and so they should just have like a poll for 5 players and we all vote for it, because like, whatever this was, let us vote for like the release and I don't know, some of the badges as well, because I don't know what they're doing with this card. Like, give it half Showtime dunks as well, and then it would actually be quite usable on current gen. But like, without that release as well, it's just like, come on, you're just kind of just slapping everyone in the face, man. Like, look at the cards that are out. It's just nah.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Hasty Plays for asking that question, by the way. I mean, I agree with them personally. I'm going to let Josh go last because we're going to lead into Westbrook after this. I think it's actually a good idea. I think it's a really good idea, because I think the argument is, if they'd done it that way, we wouldn't have got this Westbrook, right? That's kind of what he's saying. Like, they would have had time to think about a card that's still usable or relevant, and then release that instead of a card that, Josh said that a response to a post last week. Like, we've basically spent 3 weeks arguing about whether that card's going to be good or not. Like, you take our argument away, and then suddenly 2K can just drop a card that is usable. I mean, that Westbrook probably would have been better if they created him today, right? I don't think they would have created that card. And I like the idea of the suspense as well. Like, you don't really know what you're going to get, because everything's quite predictable at the moment. There is no surprises really in the game. I thought it was quite cool. So, Josh, Westbrook?
Westbrook. Yeah. Westbrook. I did gameplay on him, and it's so ironic. Like, literally, I shot horrible with him from 3. And he was the only person to green a 3 in that game, which kind of was like, wow. But I feel like 2K really they did bad. Like they, for one, Westbrook should have Hall of Fame Showtime off rip. Like, this is Russell Westbrook we're talking about. Like, he is Hall of Fame Showtime, if we're being honest. Like, he is that badge. And this whole time I thought his jump shot release was on quick. I'm shooting on it. Like, why is it so slow? Why would you give Westbrook a normal release knowing how bad his jumper is already? And like this 2K just did so many bad things. It's like you give him Hall of Fame clamps before you give him Hall of Fame showtime. And like you give him a 86 three ball and give him a normal release. Like it's not usable at that point. And I feel like 2K, for them to update cards, like there's no reason we should be waiting 6 weeks to get cards that we can't even use for a day. Like it's just getting bad. I know it's supposed to be like a casual game mode, but it's not fun. It's not fun. I don't feel like wasting 6 weeks of sweating every weekend just to get a card like that. It's not worth it. And even though I'm not gonna ever go for the Hall of Fame badge, because if they ever gave me Hall of Fame box because I decided to pass up on a free player, I'd be upset. So I'm gonna still keep going for the awards. Westbrook, 2K, he did really bad. I'm still gonna use him, but he did really bad. So
why are you going to use him? Because you fought his corner for 3 weeks?
yeah, like I'm not gonna sit. I'm not even that. Like I'm not gonna sit here and play for 6 weeks just to not use a player. I don't what? Like I'm not gonna use him competitively, but I'll try to make some type of content around him.
Yeah, I called this on like day one of this season, man. Like it's just a history of limited. Like it's never going to change. Like we're going to get hyped again next week when they announce a new limited reward. By the time we get there, it's just going to be an outdated card. Like obviously Dishinger's a problem here. Like we've spoken about this before, right? When they dropped Dishinger, they didn't realize how popular he would be. Everyone was saying he was the best card in the game. So they just had to ramp everything up, right? They released these OP like Inferno packs and things like that. Kawhi got an update to become this basically a dark matter card that he is now. And Westbrook just got lost in the shuffle, like with that huge progression that they had over a week or two to kind of recover from Dishinger. Westbrook was the casualty in that. I'm going to try and get this timeline right. So I recorded a video yesterday, which was Friday, that's dropping today, which is Saturday. So if you're watching this on Sunday, I dropped this video yesterday. So I got Jameson, Westbrook, and Kawhi all in the space of like 3 days. I ran a gameplay with that Westbrook. He played really, really well. Like honestly, like he doubled. It was kind of a tough game. My opponent, I don't think, missed a three for that entire game, so we had to play well. Westbrook played well. You know, he got 17 points. I think he got 12 assists. He got a few rebounds. He got a steal. Like he played well. But yeah, I still hated the card. Like he didn't hit a three. My team shot like 75% from three. Westbrook missed every three.
No, look, that card is not a bad card, but it's like when you compare it to what is out there, that is why it's bad. That's the only reason. Like if this card come out, I don't know, like nearly 2 months ago, it's the elite of the elite. Like it's amazing card. Even though the shot's a bit slow, what it can do offensively is still amazing. And he moves around the court very fast. Like he's not a bad card, but it's like when you compare him to Kyrie Irving, Oscar Robertson, Lonzo Ball, like those dudes you can buy for like 70 to 90K and you don't got to play one game of limited. So like that's why he's bad.
Yeah, I had an open look with him at one point in that game. I wanted to throw up looking at that release. Like...
You know, it's so funny. You know what's literally so funny about that? Last night, I'm playing Truth That Online, trying to do some challenges, and the dude's running Russell Westbrook. And I know, like, Westbrook, you know, isn't that good from outside because his release. The dude green one-shot Westbrook. I'm like, all right, I'm going to test something. I literally go under every screen with Westbrook. He's missing. Like, he keeps shooting it. He's missing. I'm like, oh, this is bad. Okay. I'm like, this is bad.
Yeah, I played one game of TTO and one game of Unlimited with him, and I still haven't hit a three with him. That kind of sums it up. Guys, yeah, the cards are right off. In terms of Limited, guys, there's a bit of advice, I think. I played some Limited last night. So I'm done for the season. I've done everything. There's nothing left to do. So I was on last night, and I was like, what should I do? I had the ring. I had Westbrook. So I was like, I'm just going to play a bit of Limited. Guys, I got like, this is probably the best I've ever played in this game, by the way. I got like 10 rage quits in the space of an hour. Like literally, I was tearing through it. Guys, there's packs, there's throwback packs, there's flash packs, all of this stuff. I've currently got, Jaquel, you will have seen this on my account. I've got like 150 unopened packs. You know, they're all from like TTO, things like that. But some of them are still from Limited last season as well when they were dropping packs in there. Play Limited this weekend. Like play as much of it as you can. If you're done with everything, just play Limited because there's so many packs in there. There's really good cards sitting in those packs.
I just sold all my rubies. I just sold all my rubies. Like I did the challenges for them. I did Kobe. It was so, I'm not gonna lie. Using Isaac Bonga, using Kobe, using Jonathan Isaac, it was so fun. And literally, I just watched Shaquille's new video, and I'm not even like even helped me. I thought I knew
That video is
most.
an absolute
That
banger.
video, like, it's such a banger. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like the rotations I was making, I applied from what Jaquel learned, like what Jaquel said in that video. Yo, I got the dude to quit. Like, I probably got like 2, 3 rage quits, and then on offense, like he said, you call for that screen, you look for that open spot. I didn't even realize when I call for screens, that spot is open like 80% of the time. You go right there. If they come help, pass. Like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, Jaquel drop. I ain't gonna lie, Jaquel dropped the banger, man. But
Then
yeah,
you
like I was
realize
playing
you're running
limited.
Westbrook and can't hit a 3 to save your life.
What's yeah? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think Jaquel's play style might help me. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
shoot
that video
three.
is really good. Like,
Yeah, it's
go
really
check
good,
it
though.
out. Like,
Nah,
I'm a little
for
bit annoyed because Jakel's been kind of helping me, and now he's helping everyone, so I feel like I'm not special anymore. But yeah, that video is amazing. I've learned from both of you. I've learned so much about this game, but I've definitely leveled up. It's funny in the gameplay I drop. I basically just don't play any defense. It's quite funny. Like I was so focused on the gameplay of those three guys. But generally, like my defense has leveled up from watching both of you. My offense has leveled up as well. Like I'm so much more confident shooting, even with delay and stuff. Like it's cool, man. Like definitely catch up stuff. It's gonna make you better at the game. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna have Jazz, no meter Jazz one day. We're gonna have no meter Jazz.
Yeah.
If we get a no delay EU server, I'm in, man. Like
Chicken and jazz.
just so you
Chicken
know,
and
I
jazz.
actually don't use a meter offline because it's just clean. It's only online where I have to equip the meter because it's so delayed. It's like shooting blind, you know.
Wait, they were actually speaking about that when Killzamore was on. Well, JD, I think that might have been something that was mentioned because isn't he an EU player, Killzamore?
Killzamore, no, he's
Nah,
Australian.
but our servers, our servers are similar to Europe's.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Only
Hopefully-
America's are the best. Like you've got the best servers just because you're so close.
It's still terrible. It's still terrible.
Yeah.
It's the best, but it's still horrible.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
for sure. All right, guys, let's move on. So I got Kawhi this week, and speaking of no meter, I turned my meter off. I went on to TTO to try out Kawhi straight away. I hit like a triple Curry slide into a limitless 3, greened it, like first shot. I've never done that with the card before. That card is unreal how good he is. Like on the gameplay that I posted, like he scored 32 points in that unlimited game. He shot like 8 for 13 from 3. And to be honest, I was talking over the games. I was messing around. I wasn't like locked in. Like the card just doesn't miss. Defensively, he's like at another level. Like before the update, I was like, I don't know if Kawhi's worth it. I was saying what you were saying, Josh, you know, the dishwasher and all of that. Then when he got updated, I was like, is it enough of an update? Like steady shooter, all of this stuff. Mate, the guy was hitting wide open like threes from the logo all game. Steady shooter means nothing, first of all. Like literally just doesn't affect the card at all. But I'm so glad I made a late push for that card. Like
Do you remember when people were saying Terry is better than, like, that's what kind of annoyed me. Like people were really sitting here saying, oh, Terry's better than Kawhi. I'm like, time out. Y'all are speaking on a card no one even used yet. And they're probably gonna update him, like we were saying on the show. Like they were gonna update him. There's no way the level 40 reward card is worse than a TTO offline card. There's just no way.
There is something very odd about that card, like how just it moves around the court. Like the first game I had with it, I was like almost chased down people from like beyond halfway. I wouldn't even be in the screen, and I know I'm on Kawhi, and I would run to the hoop to try and block a shot, and he would like get there, and I'm just like, what is this? This card is like a demon. Like he moves different than any other card I've used.
Yeah, he's perfect.
Easily.
He's literally perfect.
Yeah.
His shot is money. He's rapid. His player build is ridiculous. His animations are perfect. His badges are on the money as well. Like, I just can't fault the card. Like, we're going to get into this stuff later, but honestly, where do we go from here? Like, where do we go from there? Like,
he's going to be in game. He's going to be in game almost. Like, he's going to be there for a while in that team, as long as there's no other Kawhi. Like, because he's as you said, he's the perfect card for a small forward. You know, like perfect height. His builds. He's massive as, and he can do everything. So.
Yeah, he's going to be like the leap year T-Mac from last year, right? That kind of released around this. I think it was released almost this exact week. DBG was saying that last week, and people ran him for 5 months.
Yeah, his longevity, that T-Mac's longevity was crazy. Like until we got a new one, it was crazy ridiculous, man.
Yeah, Kawhi is going to be that card this year. Like he will be that card. Like I cannot. I mean, fair play to 2K. Like I'm not one to compliment them if I'm honest, but fair play to them. They have done this with the XP rewards. Like D Wade is still the best free point guard in the game, right? So we can assume that Kawhi's probably still going to be the best sort of shooting guard small forward by the end of next season. So it's 7 weeks from now. So he will have longevity. I'm almost certain of that. Do you think you're going to get him, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, I really gotta like today. I gotta, like lock in and get at least to. If I can get to 100,000, because I'm like at 80,000 right now. 20,000 XP in a day is doable. If I can get to 100,000 by the end of today, there's no doubt in my mind I can't get Kawhi. But if I don't like do that, then it's gonna make it harder for me. So my goal today is to get 20,000 XP, and it's really not even that hard. Like I'm looking at the challenge, it's really not that hard. It's just being committed. But every time I tell you I get on Discord, nobody want to get on Discord with me. But it's all right. I just throw no shade. But yeah, I think I can get it, man. If I get 100,000 XP.
That was a really good job not throwing any shade there. He's worth it, man. Like honestly, I've done probably 3 days now. Like I had another day the other day where I did like 15, 20k XP in a day. It is more than doable, to be honest. It's definitely doable. Guys, I want to talk to you about another rewards card. So I told you I'm dropping that video on three different reward cards. Westbrook was garbage but played well. Kawhi is the best card in the game. And then I used Jameson. And I'm so annoyed at myself for not getting him sooner. Mate, he lit it up. He lit it up in that game. Like he shot 3 for 4 from 3. He went crazy. Some of the highlight sort of dunks that he had in the game, like he could not have played any better. And the only 3 he missed was a buzzer beater.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's me. Maybe it is me. Because, like, I swear to you, I literally did gameplay on Jameson on my friend's account. I get him myself. I can't green with him. I'm struggling. I'm like, yo, is it me? Like, I don't know. Like, when I first used that card, he was chicken, man. Like, he was chicken, man.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I don't know. But, like, he's still a good card. He's still a good card. I just got to find him. I guess I got to get
I enjoyed that card, bro. That card, his Peekaboo 3 is elite. Like it's elite.
Quick. It's pretty
so
quick.
Fast. And then the only thing that's suspect for me for using him was his defense was seemed a little off for the 4 maybe. Because can he play the 3? He can play the 3A.
Yeah.
He's probably more of a small forward. Because I felt like at the 4 he was just a little getting a bit bullied by all the cards that are out at the moment. But yeah, otherwise
do you feel like he gets plucked a lot? Do you feel like he gets plucked a lot? I don't know if that's just me. I feel like he gets ripped a lot.
He had an animation in my gameplay yesterday where he literally ran through 3 players and posterized all 3 of them.
Yeah, offensively, he's a machine. Offensively, he's a machine.
Yeah. I think he's good. I think he's great, man. Like I literally greened a shot from like the halfway line in that game yesterday. And like I said, I'm not good at shooting. I'm genuinely annoyed because it took me like a day and a half to get domination done. I was like, why did I not do this like 3 weeks ago? Like, what was I waiting for? I just didn't realize he was that good.
Yeah, you let me get him before. You started domination before me, and you let me get Jameson before you.
Yeah.
Do that? I remember he was way ahead of me.
It was Kawhi, right? Like that Kawhi grind just gets in the way of absolutely everything. But yeah, I should have just taken the time out and knocked him out. He would have helped with the Kawhi grind as well. That's kind of the stupid thing about it. Like I just got that.
Yeah, domination was
Yeah. Cool guys. So we got some updates from 2K. We all loaded our game up a couple of days ago and had a 3-hour update, right? 2 kind of key things. We did touch on one of these things last week, but it's going to lead into something else as well, which is some of the reactions this week to 250K. But the first thing is they patched fades on next gen finally.
Yeah.
I mean, Jaco, are you seeing that?
Yeah. I've seen that, but I don't know how much they've patched it because I've still been playing a little bit of Play Now online on next gen, getting through because you get a little bit of VC, so I use it on the account.
Yeah.
And I'm using cards like Damian Lillard and stuff like that. Like they're pretty nice on Play Now, but and they're still hitting fades. Like I was still hitting fadeaway 3s, and so I'm like, how much have they really? Maybe they've only nerfed it a little bit. Like I could not feel too much of a difference. So.
Does it still feel overpowered though? Or is it you feel like it's reasonable?
It's pretty easy to translate. If Damian Lillard's doing it in Play Now, who's nothing like MyTeam cards, I feel like MyTeam's going to be
pretty damn elite though. I'm not, you're not a casual. You're pretty damn elite. Maybe other people can't agree too much. But I feel like they did because there was this kid. I'm not gonna say his name, of course, but he had followed me on Twitch, and I noticed that he played Park on next gen, but recently, since the update, I've seen he's on current gen now. I'm like, the fade got to him because that was his go-to move. He used to fade a lot in green, so I feel like maybe it did kind of affect people who are above average and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, guys, they have patched modded controllers now. That's the official line from 2K. Immediately, there was kind of a sort of response saying, you know, it's not really patched, that on certain difficulties it still works. And I mean, I don't know if anyone knows if any of this is true, right? The only thing we really know is 2K have said that they patched it. I'll be honest, like at the start of the Unlimited season, like the first week, on the EU server, a lot of people had used modded controllers, I think, to compensate for the lag, right? Because it was so bad, it was just easier to shoot using a script. So in the first week of Unlimited, like 1 in 3 games, I'm not exaggerating here, like 1 in 3 games, I would run into a modded controller. I'd run into someone using a Zen. So they obviously get to a point where they go 12-0, they've kind of used their cheat codes and they've got out the way. And then it just kind of disappears. Like you might 1 in 20 games, 1 in 30 games after that, you kind of run into them. But right now, it's been weeks since I've run into one anyway. So I don't know if the scripts are not as effective as they were. But I think there is definitely already, before they patched it, less people using them or less people having success with them, I guess. What does this mean? Now that they've patched it, what does it mean overall? Because it is a problem, and it's a major problem that's really been undersold for a long time.
I think, like, because what one of my friends was telling me is that, like, the whole Zen thing was kind of bigger in, like, the park and competitive stage. And, like, it's crazy, even some league players are using it. I'm not going to say no names. I don't want to, get nobody in trouble. But, yeah, like, it's really common. But, like, in the MyTeam, it's kind of where it's, like, it's not. You shouldn't really be using a modded controller in MyTeam. I'm not to say you should be using it in part, but I understand why people would. And I think there was a game, I think it was last week in Limited, when they had first, introduced the quick fix on Zens. I kid you not, literally that Saturday, I ran into, like, 2 Zens back-to-back on Limited. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, did it really get fixed? But since they're officially saying that it's been patched, I feel like it has been. Like, I didn't see any limited rewards. I didn't see any Zens on Limited this weekend. So maybe they did patch it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I've recently found out that there's a Facebook group with, like, it's a Zen group on Facebook for 2K. It's literally a Zen group.
That's horrible.
You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, it needed to be nerfed. It needed to, especially for the 250K, like how they're doing it all online this year. So, like, because there could be some dodgy things going on until someone makes the final. So it's good that they supposedly patched it, but I'm pretty sure they did. Otherwise, they did 29 gigabytes of just absolute nothing. Then,
Are they going to have to disband their group now? Go find some new friends? Like, how does that work?
Bunch of weirdos doing that.
Yeah, I hate it. Like I said, I think a lot of it in the EU is because of the flaws in the game. I think because it is so difficult to shoot. You never play 2 games where the release and the input is the same. It just doesn't happen, which is, keeping meter on is basically your only way out. So I almost understand it in the EU, like why people do it, because it can be completely unplayable and really frustrating. But there's never a reason to use it. Like, I'll take an L 100 times over ever using an exploit like that.
I feel like it's like a sense of, like, kind of self-respect. Like, imagine I would not feel comfortable with myself knowing that I won a game and I had to use some sort of outside advantage that was just unfair. Like, I just feel like I couldn't live with that win. It just wouldn't be the same.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let's talk about 250K. So I had a go. I had a go at it. Like, I literally made a decision 5 seconds before it started. I loaded up my PlayStation. I was like, I just want to see what it's about. It was like a research mission because I'm nowhere near good enough to even compete at that level. But yeah, I won my first game. I got a rage quit. I was ranked 65. I was like, that's probably good. I had no idea, to be honest, if that was good or not. Then I loaded into another game. I've got a video on it. Go watch it. It's actually an epic gameplay. But I was down by 20. I pulled it back to 7. I just couldn't get it over the line. And I learned so much about 250K, and I'm just going to say it, the absolute nonsense that is that format. I mean, that format could not be more broken if you tried. Like, it couldn't be any less sort of thoughtful and just thought out. On what planet are we living in that basically, because I was down by 20 points and nearly came back and won the game, bear in mind, it literally came down to like a couple of animations in the 4th quarter that cost me that game. What world are we living in where the format is set up that I should have quit when I was down?
No, you definitely shouldn't have quit, because believe it or not, there was 2 comp players last week who I just recently found a story out. They were like, one was down 20 going into the half, and the guy tried to say he was stalling him. So the dude that was down 20 not only came back, but won. So like imagine if he would have quit, he would have been out the tournament for what? So like what the point somebody was making is if you feel like you have a chance of coming back and you're playing somebody, don't quit. Like you should just keep going, fight through it. And if you like bring it close, like if you're down like 15 or like 2 minutes left in the fourth, like all right, maybe consider it. But even I wouldn't quit because like anything can happen in 2 minutes. So I feel like
Yeah,
if you feel like you have a chance of coming back, don't give up because like he's not entitled to have that win because you're both going for the same thing. So
Yeah.
I say give it all you got.
yeah.
But being down 30 is like, all right, come on, like let's not stall nobody here. But like at a certain point in the game, like that's why I feel like they should incorporate a mercy rule of some sort, like a certain point in the game.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I think it has to be significant though, right? Like what you're saying, it has to be
Yeah.
down by 30 in the
Yeah.
fourth. Like
Yeah.
I've had multiple games. I'm sure we all have where we've come back from deficits even bigger than that. Like it's just so weird. Like I loaded up Twitter afterwards. I was watching DBG who said he wasn't going to do it last week on the podcast, right? He said, "There's no way I'm going to chill back and what." Straight onto 250k loaded up and had a good run as well. He was 18th after like a couple of hours. He was doing really well. Anyway, the drama, man, the kind of just the whole of Twitter was heated. You could see people that really wanted and expected to qualify that didn't. They were kind of throwing stones, throwing shade, all of this stuff. You could see people that did qualify that weren't expected to, and then they were getting torn down by other people. Like the beef, guys, is I want to speak to the community. We got to be better than this. Like we have to be better than this. The format is the issue. There is no reason to be attacking anyone else for playing a game or being good at the game, or if there's no proof, throwing accusations. We have to be better than this, man. Because when we start attacking each other, we let 2K off the hook. And the problem is the format. The format is the reason all of
100%. 100%. The format is like what kills it all, was because the reason that stallers are even a thing in it is because of the format. People need rage quits to make it. Like if like I said on one of your videos to someone, I just said if I win 10 games in a row, go undefeated during the 250k, but Ty Debo wins 16 because he got everyone to quit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And then another 3 dudes do the same thing. How is that fair? Like I went undefeated in the tournament, but I still don't make it, and I'm still like 8th place. Like that's what happens to people, because people do stall, or people do just stay in the game because they want to, they actually want their chance. They don't want to go out, but they still lose by 30, and because of that, Ty Debo's already won 3 games. That's just an example. Like he's already won 3 games. Dudes have quit down 10, down 20. Fast as, and you're stuck in this game and you're just like, come on. Like that's why people get so angry. But like I get it from both sides. I understand, like 100%. I ain't quitting even if I'm down 20. Like never. That's 250k, man. But that's why
money.
people get so that's why people get so mad. It's $250,000. You're not playing for chump change. You're playing for the biggest prize there is. So that's why there's so much emotion. People are gonna accuse you of things. And because of 2K's format, that is on them. That's on, like, that is their fault to why everyone's just like freaking out all the time.
Yeah, it was an absolute minefield. I literally couldn't believe it. Like, literally, my entire Twitter timeline was just people throwing shade, and it made me sad, to be honest, because I just think we just need to be better than that, man. Like, the format is flawed. I don't know what the solution is, and this is stuff we need to talk about. But there needs to be a solution. This doesn't work. I can't remember who it was. Someone on Twitter. It might have been RCA. I can't remember exactly who it was. Someone posted that they haven't lost a game in the qualifiers yet and haven't qualified.
Yeah, there's plenty of people like that. There's plenty of sweats like that. Like they don't lose it, and you just run out of time. And then there's other people ahead of you that have just played like 5-6 more games because people have quit. And like the best format is, so one of the bros on Twitter, Dunk God and 2K Ghetto, they've talked about it for years. People in our servers have talked about it. You need 2 people from America that make it each weekend, 1 person from Europe, 1 person from APAC, which is my servers.
Yeah,
that's the best way to do it. 4 people, one from here, 1 from Europe, 2 from America. Do it like that. That's the only, and you have to have region lock 250k days. I can't. Why am I competing versus Ty Debo? I'm never gonna play him in the qualifying. Why is that a thing? Why am I competing against a guy across the world and I'm not even gonna verse him or anyone he verses? So it's like, why? It's the most flawed system. It's made to try and like stay in America. That's what I believe anyway. They don't
It's
want us to
definitely
make
geared
it.
towards that. Yeah.
they
Everything about
don't want
2K
us
is
to
geared
make it.
towards America. Yeah, everything about
Yeah.
it, service, everything. Yeah. It definitely is
100%.
American. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's move on to the content this week. The content wasn't anything crazy this week. Like, you guys agree with that? Like, it was.
We got John. Who we got? John Stockton this week.
Yeah. So the first one was throwback moments. We had Stockton, Sigma, Aldridge, Chambers, Rove, Wally.
They're all right. They're all right cards. They're not bad. Not bad cards. Like Stockton's pretty good. He's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
undersized.
nothing crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't blow the doors off. I really like that Wally Serbiak, by the way. Like that card is a sleeper for sure.
That's the Spotlights card.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was really good. Is he Evo? Is he an Evo?
Yeah, diamond. He was a diamond.
I had fun doing his XP, man. The guy didn't miss. I didn't have fun doing Tom Chambers XP. Like, what the hell? 50 dunks?
Oh, James.
That slug. It was terrible. Okay, after that we had moments, guys. Levine, Kobe White, Chris Boucher, and Kenrich Williams. Thoughts on those cards?
I feel like Zach LaVine is like a baby T-Mac. He's a baby T-Mac kind of every year because they got the same release, Showtime dunks, and this one has Hall of Fame range. So I feel like he's like a budget T-Mac and more affordable for people who weren't able to get him.
Yeah. You tried any of those, Jaquel?
No, I haven't tried. I haven't even ran into any of those cards. I don't think so. Like,
yeah.
I'm guessing Levine would be nice. Like he's always nice, but none of those cards really.
Williams is a bit of a sleeper. Like his Evo.
Yeah. I've heard about him.
He gets Hoff clamps. He gets gold range. He's a bit of a sleeper for a free card. Yeah. And then we got onto like the sort of big content, I guess, for this week, which was the new Idols cards. Yao Ming. Should we start there? Let's start with Yao. What's our thoughts?
I mean,
I'm not surprised.
You knew it was coming, but kind of expected him to be a little bit faster. Thought he would be able to get range, so I'm not really too, like Yao's never a card at this point in Yao to use unless it's GOAT Yao. But I mean, he's Yao Ming. He's a cheese ball ready because he's 7'6".
97 post hook.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do to stop that. So he's a cheese ball.
What's that? Amethyst?
Amethyst, yeah. Tip offs early in the year.
He's Yi. Is it the other Yi?
Oh, the other dude.
Oh, yeah, Yi. Yeah.
He's always good though.
He's elite, bro. Oh, now next gen, he is. Wow, he's silly. That's a silly card. I was moving different with that card on next gen. He's silly. I like that card.
The big card, everyone's raving about him for sure. The big card that everyone seems to be popping off about is that Kenyon Martin. Now, I don't know much about it, but my Twitter feed is just lit up with people talking about this card. Has anyone used him?
Nah, not buying those cards.
You guys are supposed to be my.
I've heard Jeremy Lin. Yeah. I've actually heard. Yeah, I've heard good things about Jeremy Lin. Like people say he's elite. Like he can dunk elite. He pretty much dunks like Russell Westbrook. So there you go. Here's a bit of a slap in your Russell Westbrook face.
Josh's face.
Jeremy Lin is probably as good of a dunker.
Yeah, people are debating him and Wade right now. I think that seems to be a debate that's going on. What's the deal with the card? I just haven't looked into it. I've been crazy busy this week. Like, what's the deal with that card?
I think it's just people. Yeah, half range.
I believe he has half clamps and pickpockets, like a 90-something on-ball steal tendency, 90 driving dunk, 90 flashy dunk tendency. He could pretty much do it all. He's 6'3".
So in other words, he's what everyone wanted Westbrook to be.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
It's so silly.
So tough.
It's so silly, man. What are they doing?
That Kyle Anderson is a budget beast as well.
Yeah.
He looks amazing with his Evo. He looks absolutely incredible. Cool, guys. I think that's all for the content. So we're going to cover some stuff after this, but it's guest time. It is that time. I'm super excited to have BIO2K on the podcast this week. Again, these guys just keep stepping up for us. Like it's epic. Look at Josh. Josh is throwing shapes. That's good. We're looking forward to talking about all things XP, and he's the man of the hour. So please help me welcome BIO2K to the OurTeam podcast. Yeah, Bio, how you doing, man?
Wonderful. How about you?
Yeah, we're good. First things first. Big kind of couple of weeks for you, right? Both personally and in terms of 2K.
Yeah.
Congrats on the engagement, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool.
Congratulations.
we saw your fiance on a video last week, which was cool.
Yeah.
Never let her go because she pulled like 3 Lonzos in a row.
Yeah. Like I was saying yesterday, I still don't understand. She's like, "Oh, is that good?" I'm like, "I pulled like $300 in packs and couldn't pull anything." She pulls like $10 and pulled 3 pink diamonds in one box. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Never let her go. Never let her go.
Yeah.
Cool. So
And she trolled me too.
She did. She did.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
She
She pulled an amethyst, or no, she pulled the pink diamond, and I was like, "What color is it?" She's like, "Purple." And I'm like, "Oh, great!" And I'm like, "It's not a purple." I'm like, "Come on." Yeah.
Like you don't get enough of that from the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, W," and I get excited and I look, and it's an amethyst. I'm like, "Nice, thanks, appreciate it, guys." I've gotten good though. I've gotten good. Whenever I see certain people say W, I'm like, "Oh, I know I didn't get anything." Because they're just straight trouble.
If you look at the chat, it's like they're watching an entire.
Yeah. Whenever I see one of my friends say W, I know I didn't get anything. So it's fine. Great.
So that video didn't entirely go according to plan, right? These are the kind of hard questions we ask, right? So yeah, when are you going to wax your legs?
Probably either later today or tomorrow. So can't wait. It's gonna be so fun to be in pain.
Where are we seeing that? Facebook, YouTube? Where are we going to see that?
I don't know. Probably as of now on Twitter. Probably just turn it into a video. I might even do it twice, to be honest. So one for Twitter and one for a video. So we'll see.
Wow.
We'll see what happens there.
That's gonna
my fiance keeps telling me, she's like, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal." She's like, "I get my eyebrows waxed all the time." I'm like, "Yeah, but you're used to it." And I'm like, and I know how she is. And she's gonna like toy with me and be like, and just rip it. And yeah. So
this is the weirdest question I'm ever going to ask a guest. But are your legs hairy?
Yeah. So it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be great. Yeah, it'll be a great time.
It's kind of a benchmark for the pain, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the whole point. I mean, I was kind of hoping that something else was gonna win, but I'm not surprised. Everybody always votes for the worst thing, so.
Yeah, fair. Mate, obviously, again, it's been a big season for you in terms of the game. You were the first one to get Kawhi. I love your approach to it. Like, I'll touch on that in a second. But how did you find fitting that grind into like 4 weeks?
I mean, it's something that I always have done, really. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's domination or like the spotlights last year. Like, I mean, it sounds bad, but like to me, the sooner I get it done, the sooner I could stop playing. Yeah. So like to me, it's like the more you drag it out, the more it's gonna be kind of painful. One of my best friends is still trying to do it, and he's running out of time, and he's like, I don't really want to play the game anymore. I'm like, that's why I do it, because it's a grind. But once you get it done, like you can kind of just sit back and watch everybody else struggle. So it kind of works out for me.
I agree with that entirely. Yeah, like I got weighed probably a day after the first person last season, and I kind of had 2 weeks off, and I like it literally felt like I went on a holiday to like the Caribbean or something. Like
that's what I'm saying. It's nice to be able to just sit here and then just be like, you know what, I'm good. Like I said, I hung out with my fiance for the entire week, flew back to Jersey, and I've just been chilling here while everybody else is playing limited. They're doing everything, trying to get the card still. So like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still going for Kawhi, unfortunately. Yeah. So
see, that's what I'm saying.
Josh, there's a specific way you need to ask this question to Bio. Like, there's only one way you ask this question. Bio, Josh has 75k XP to go. Can he still?
Oh my God, we're not doing this here. No.
That's all I see in his. Every time in his
dude, I literally made a video that was. I sat down one day and I was talking. Like, I have like a little I don't want to call them like a team, but like it's like a group of my friends that they help me kind of. I'll ask them like, hey, do you think this is a good video I did? I told them, I said, I'm gonna make a video where if you started from level 0, could you still get Kawhi? And they were like, yeah, that's great. And I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, it's great because there's no way someone's gonna still ask me after that, hey, I'm level this, can I still get him? And the very first comment on that video was, hey, I'm level 36, can I still get him? I'm like, dude, like if you're level 0 and can get him, then if you're level 36, you'll be fine. But nope, I still get it tweeted at me every day, and I still get the DMs, and I'm just like, dude, I can't.
Yeah, every time I load into one of Bio streams, like I always like put some weird flex on the question. Like I think last time I came in, I was like, I'm on 3,000 XP. Can I go Oscar Robertson?
Well, it's like the thing is, it became like a joke because like I remember right when season 2 started, like the very first day of season 2, people were like, hey, I'm level 22. Am I on pace? I'm like, it's the first day. Like it is the very first day, and we're immediately getting into the, hey, can I still get him? I'm like, oh, dude.
Of course not. I'll just say, of course not. No, like no, you're way too behind.
Oh, I started doing it. I started making it up. I'm like, nah, if you're not level 39, you can't. They're like, wait, what? They're like, you're only level 37. I'm like, yeah, I can't get them now. And they're like, put your first. I'm like, yeah, no, I still can't get them. No, sorry.
Yeah. Have you got some advice for Josh because he is slacking? Like, he's got.
I mean, honestly, like I said, the best thing to do is just stack as much together as you can, because the more you stack, the less you have to play. So like, that's the way I do it. Like, people try to do it like one game at a time, and like, I can't do that. Like, I always like the way I do it. Like, if I hop into like a domination or a spotlight game and I'm only doing one thing, I feel like I'm just not being as efficient as possible. Yeah. So I always make sure I'm doing at least 2 or 3 things, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think
now, one video you definitely did that was helpful. Like, it was like golden. When you, like, there was, I think, season 2, I kept trying to get dunks, and I'm like, yo, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Yo, that passing screen away, like, I was literally here screaming at my monitor because I had to go Vince Carter Galaxy Opal, Michael Jordan, Galaxy Opal Kobe Bryant. And we didn't have Opals at the time. Yo, that was the hardest.
Yeah, I feel you.
Oh my God. But that dunk, like that passing screen away thing, I use it every time. Like, even if I need like 5 dunks.
I'll tell you what, my friends will tell you that, like, I mean, obviously it's no shock that like I rage a lot in the game. But like triple threat offline, I know it's gonna sound weird, but that game mode has made me rage more than anything else, because the CPU in that thing is the most cracked like thing I've ever had to play in my life. Like,
makes no sense.
Serious. Last year, I smashed the controller trying to get that Dominique, because I remember I was 2 games away and I lost 7 games in a row because I kept matching up with Scottie Pippen, Jordan, and Kobe. And I couldn't do anything. If I posted them up, I got stripped. If I took a 3, it was 100% contested. I'm just like, dude.
They go every screen. Every screen you call, they go over. Like, the screen doesn't work. Yeah, it was tough. Yeah. Man. It was tough.
I mean, the one day I had a video of it from the beginning of the season. Jerry West got like a warp animation and blocked me from the free throw line. I'm like, Jerry West is teleporting and blocking me. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like,
did you play a lot of games for Dishwasher?
Oh yeah, I think I hit probably 250 or 270, and I just gave up. Like, Splash, I know, is at 2,000 games, and he hasn't gotten them. I'm like, I can't. Like,
I just got him actually in under like 200 games. Like, it's like I wasn't even trying. I was just grinding XP, and I was like, I hope I get Terry. And then literally, I was like, oh, I don't even know if I want to go off the quad, but I'm still gonna go for him, of course. But
well, it happens every season for me, where like Jeff Malone, I got 4 of him, and then when Wayne Embry came out, it took me 205 games to get him. Jeez. And then I got him twice. And then this season, I got 4 Byron Becks, and then still can't get Terry. So, like,
I think I've got, like, the craziest luck with this stuff, because I literally played 55 games of TT offline.
Yeah.
And in those 55 games, I got Embry, Beck, like and Dishinger.
Yeah, I think there's something to it to where, like, if you still have games to go, you know what I mean? Like, if you still have to get Doug West, I feel like you're more likely to get him. But if you already have him, then, like, you're just screwed.
I think it's just sympathy because I'm terrible at the game. I think that's what.
Well, my thing is like, I mean, I see all these people being like, "Oh, I have to get him." I'm like, he doesn't even fit on my team anymore either. So it's like, it's not even like it really matters, you know. So like, I don't care.
Yeah,
kind of like a flex at this point, you know, if you got a good team.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's more like if you see somebody have Terry, you're like, oh, this lucky son of a, like, you know what I mean? Like,
like, you don't know what I went through, blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy the XP grind? Like, do you actually enjoy the kind of grind of it? Do you think it's like a good mode?
I mean, I like it. Like, the thing is, like, the whole season thing, I like because it keeps it fresh. You know what I mean? Like, last year, you know, there was the problem where if you were like me and you went straight through triple threat, did all the dominations, went 12-0, there's literally nothing you could do. You know what I mean? The only thing left to do is to just do random gameplays that came out and random stuff like that. I like the whole season thing because it opens up a lot more stuff to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you kind of have to play more triple threat, and you have to play like online or offline. You have to do unlimited, you know. So I like it. It just, you know, it gets a little tedious sometimes, you know?
Yeah. So, what are your kind of least favorite challenges that you have to do? Like, for me, it's always dunk challenges. It's dunk challenges with a slow center. Like that.
I mean, I don't care about Dom. I just, as soon as I see it say something unlimited, I just get annoyed because then I have to play unlimited, and I hate that. Like, I can win. Like my friends will say all the time too. They'll be like, "Dude, you're the only one I know that can win by 50 and still complain." I'm like, it's about the principle. Like if I'm winning by 50 and somebody still hits 100% smothered, I'm still annoyed because I'm like, why is that going in? You know? So like anything that has to do with unlimited or even like, I think the worst is the Udonis Haslam challenges we had when it came to triple threat online and you had to get the dunks. That is still by far, I think, the worst. Either that or Jermaine O'Neal. Those two take the cake. So
I'm doing Jermaine O'Neal right now. It's not. He's a horrible card. Like he's off. I don't even know how he's a pink diamond, but it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I seen somebody started a tweet and was like, this hidden gem, Jermaine O'Neal, really plays like an emerald. I said, wow, you went in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
I thought you was going with it. I was like, whoa.
That's how it is, though. I mean, I remember when I was trying to get the rebounds for him. There's like the thing you could do where if you load up with like your main card and 2 bronzes and TTO offline, you'll match up with like golds and stuff. And I'll never forget, he got thrown by gold DJ Augustine. Like he got thrown out of the way, and DJ Augustine grabbed the board, and I was like, really? Like you're 6'11" and you just got tossed? Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, a pink diamond at that. Like a pink diamond. Like
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's awful. Speaking of unlimited and how annoying it can be, you introduced me to a word about a year ago. That word was algo. I'd never heard this word before until you mentioned it in a video. And my life, just understanding what was happening to me. Like I thought I was going crazy for like 2 months. I didn't start playing until like March last year, and then I saw your video like a month later, and I was like, oh, I'm not the worst player in the world randomly once every 10 games.
Yeah, all of a sudden you can't make layups, you can't shoot the ball, your guys are dropping the ball, and you're like, what is happening here? There you go.
Yeah. Do you think it just needs to go now? Like, you think it just needs to go?
Yeah, 100%. The thing is like, the fact that there's still people that argue with me, I can't, like, I know that there's some people that try to troll me and be like, oh, algo's not a thing, you're just trash, like, whatever. But like, there's legitimate people that say like, "Oh, algo's not a part of the game. You know, your opponent just adapted." I'm like, my opponent adapting has nothing to do with the fact that like he's smacking whites in my face and I'm missing wide open shots. And like I said, I'm sure we've all gone to animation where you pass it and your guy stumbles and then just runs out of bounds at the ball. Like that's not like, oh, he just adapted and my guy couldn't catch all of a sudden. Like, no, the game is it's just. Oh, it is so bad. Like that's something that definitely needs to be
I'm literally uploading a gameplay today of Jameson, Kawhi, and Westbrook. And in the space of 30 seconds, this is what happened. My opponent hit a limitless, fully contested full white. 10 seconds later, I went for a steal on basically the free throw line. Mikhail tipped the ball into my own basket.
Yeah.
10 seconds later,
that's what I'm saying.
I had this brand new animation that I've never seen before, which was like an instant jump ball. Like Fultz was holding the ball, someone walked over to him and it just said jump ball.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's stupid.
I literally just sat back like this and just went, I'm just going to wait until this ends and then I'll start playing again. I literally that's
Well, it's one thing that I started doing where I tell people like just call a timeout and walk away, because that's the only thing I feel like that like stops me from losing my mind. Because it's like, I'm sure you've seen it on streams before. Something will happen and I'll hit timeout and I'll just stand up and put my hands in the air and be like, nope, can't smash anything if I'm up here. So it's
I gotta try that because I don't smash things, but I will sit there and like curse this game out. Like it's horrible when you're playing somebody you know you can beat, and they're literally getting everything their way. Like I played this. Like you know what's the worst about having YouTube in your name? I literally tried to do Westwood gameplay. This kid texts me and is like, "Are you doing gameplay?" And I don't respond. He's like, he's still texting me. He throws double teams at Westwood, and I'm just like,
yep. That was one of the big things of why I stopped doing gameplays. It's because people would recognize me and they would do the same thing. They'd hop on the mic. They'd be like, "Yo, Bio, are you doing a gameplay?" And I wouldn't say anything because if I say yes, they're gonna double team. And then they'll be like, "All right, bet." And then all of a sudden they're triple teaming me off of full court presses, and I'm like,
why? Like, leave me alone. Like, just play regularly.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's why whenever I do gameplays, I try to avoid just feeding the card the whole time, so then they don't pick up on it. You know what I mean? Because then if you're passing the ball every possession, then they're like, "Oh yeah, he's doing a gameplay." So then you're just,
it was hard though.
Every time.
It was like right when I think it was like because I had got Westbrook like probably 30-40 minutes into when limited started. So I got YT in my name. I'm on unlimited. He knew what to do. He knew. He was like, yeah, this is a gameplay. He's like, I'm gonna be on YouTube. That's what he thought.
Yeah.
That's what he thought.
Yeah.
Just sweats.
Speaking of YouTube, Bio, you switched to Facebook recently, didn't you, for your streams? Like, how did that come about, and how are you finding it?
I mean, it just kind of happened. Like, I was sitting there. I mean, I got the email about it, you know, like they reached out and they were like, hey, like we want, you know, you to switch. And like at first, like I got reached out probably in like November, I would say, like early November. And like I didn't really think it was like a legit thing. I thought it was like, you know, some spam kind of deal or whatever. But then, you know, some other people started switching, like Mo switched, RJ switched, and I was like, okay, you know, some of my friends are doing it. So I started asking them and they were like, yeah, like it's really cool, you know, and like I really like it. I mean, at first it was weird, I'm not gonna lie. Like at first, like when I switched and like I saw the viewership drop, I was like, oh my God, like, you know, is this really like, did I really just do this? But then like the more I started streaming, the more the viewers started coming back, and the more I started, you know, thinking like, honestly, like it's really good because like it's a stable thing. So it's like, and it's gonna, you know, it brings like a lot more opportunities to me. So like for me to be able to just stream whatever I want, it's just a lot of fun. Like, you know, where I could stream 2K and, you know, stream that for like 8 hours and then stream Call of Duty for 4 hours. It's really not like, you know, it doesn't feel like I'm
freedom.
Yeah, it's so much better to be able to do that. You know, like Twitch, like you have to, you know, Twitch, you have to pull on the views because, you know, you're not pulling in views, you're not going to be getting them like the money, and like you're not going to be able to support yourself, you know. So where Facebook, it's like, you know, kind of like a guaranteed thing. It's just it's a lot better of an opportunity, you know.
Yeah, we were talking to Most about this. Like we basically said, like, it seems like I basically watch streaming on Facebook mainly. Like I jump on Twitch now and then. But it just seems like the vibe is very different, right? Because people are using their real names. They're kind of a little bit more exposed. You get a lot less of the kind of trolls and things like that. Like,
that's like one thing, that I like a lot more too, is that like I always talk about YouTube, like I don't know what happens on YouTube streams, but like, I mean, like creatures come out of the woodwork. I don't know what goes on there. So like Central. YouTube is like the peak of like trolling. Then you have Twitch, where it's like, I feel like Twitch is like, it's kind of hit or miss. Like it's more of like a chill vibe from YouTube, but like, it's still like, you still get all the trolls that come in, you know, they make the fake names trying to, you know, do dumb stuff. But then I feel like with Facebook, it's like, one, the process to make an account is a little bit more annoying. So I feel like people are less likely to, you know, try to troll or whatever. And like, even when they do, it's like you're timed out for so long that I feel like even if you're trying to troll, once you get timed out once, you're not going to be like, oh, let me keep doing this. Like, so it's just a hell of a lot better in my opinion. Like, you know, it's a lot easier to deal with too.
I've noticed a big difference in the way that you kind of handled the trolls over the last year. Because I used to watch your videos like a year ago, and I think they genuinely used to wind you up, which I think they do for most people. Like you seem to just take it in your stride now. Like you seem to genuinely find it quite funny.
The thing is too, like I've went through like a lot of stuff mentally. So like, it wasn't even them. It was more like there was so much already going on that they would kind of push it to a different level. You know what I mean? And then that would cause me to break.
Like
now that I'm like back to like kind of like a more of like a, you know, stable-minded thing. It's so much easier to deal with it. And on top of that, like I kind of realized that their whole point is, you know, to get a rise out of me. So like, that's why I feed into it, but in a different way. Like they try to troll me. So I'll like go back at them and be like, oh man, tell me about your day. Like I get people on 2K that do it all the time. They'll hop on the mic and be like, yo, your channel sucks. And I'm like, I know, dude. I'm like, my channel blows. I'm like, are you on YouTube? Like, can you help me? And then they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, like what else? You know, can you help me out? And like this one dude hopped on the mic and started cursing me out. So I was like, yeah, man, yeah, give it to me. I'm like, tell me more, bro. Keep going. And then he just stopped and he's like, wait, like you're not mad? And I was like, nah, man. I was like, keep going. Come on. I was like, what else am I? And he's like, so he would say one thing and I'd be like, yeah, come on, what else? And then he just sat there and he's like, whatever, dude. And then he just quit. I'm like, yeah. But like, you know, like it's kind of
so toxic. Yeah, you got to just feed back into it.
It's like when people stall me all the time. They'll try to stall me in limited games or unlimited. Like, I mean, I think the last Facebook stream I did before I left, somebody tried to stall me. Like I was winning by like 40 and he's like, whatever, bro, I'm getting on the mic. I'm going to waste your time. And I was like, all right, cool. So like, I put the controller mic on and I was like, tell me about your day, man. Like, how's it going? And he's like, bro, shut up. I'm trying to watch a movie. And I was like, all right, yeah, cool, man. What movie are you watching? You want me to make some popcorn? And then he just left. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to stall me, like, all right, well, let's have a good time. Like,
tell him a kindness. That's, you know, literally.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
nobody likes it. I don't.
Yeah.
Like that.
I have a lot of fun with these things. Like I have a triple threat online video, like how to win more GTO games. And someone left a comment on there random. This video is like 4 months old. Someone left a comment on there the other day, and they were just like, 16 minutes is excessive for a 3-minute game mode. And my response was, if you turn it off quicker, the video is not as long. just end it when you're done. Like, why do you need to watch the whole thing? Like,
that's why, like, some people do the same thing. Like I've had people comment on videos from 2K19 getting mad at me that it doesn't work in this game, and I'm like, dude, like I don't even know what to respond to you. Like you're getting mad that something that 2K19 triple threat doesn't work in 2K21. So I'm like,
Probably the most heat I ever get in videos is when it comes to overall glitching, right? Because I used to do a lot of it. I'm doing less of it now because I'm just trying to get better with my main squad.
Yeah.
But I relied on it for a year, like at least a year. And literally people will come in, they'll put messages in all bold, go like your overall cheese and stuff like that. So the first time I saw this was one of your videos. That lineup was legendary, like to the point where you kind of showed me what overall glitching was. I started playing in March, probably April I saw that video, and you literally posted a lineup, which had a body guard in it at point guard. Then I ran that lineup and went 12-0 in May, like literally a month later. Like I probably had 40 attempts at it, to be fair, but the lineup worked. I mean, what is your thoughts on overall glitching? Because I think there's an argument either way, right? Because the argument that you get is, it's making newer players' life more difficult if they run into one of those squads, but also it's giving newer players an opportunity to play without running into a sweaty god squad.
Yeah. See, the thing is, there's like two different kinds of overall glitching. Like there's like the ones where you run like a full like opal lineup with a full bench and you try to match up with, bum team. The thing is, and then there's like obviously like the doing the method where you match up with people kind of doing the same thing, so you're not really, I still remember the lineup from last year, like by heart. It was Bonga, Gold JJ Redick, Bronze Malcolm Miller, the Emerald Jonathan Isaac, and then I would always put the Galaxy Opal Karolinko at center because he just was great, But like the thing is with that is like I feel like I don't see why overall glitching is really a problem, and like the reason why is that like if you're doing it, like you obviously should know that you're not good enough to go 12-0 with a regular team. You know what I mean? So like it doesn't matter either way. At the end of the day, it's a video game. You know what I mean? Like you're just trying to get the card. So like if you're trying to avoid people sweating, I completely understand. Like it's just, like now, like we talked about yesterday, if you're going out and being like, oh, I'm comp, like it's a little different, but like I don't really care either way. Like it's just like I think people take overall glitching way too seriously. Like,
are you comp bio? Are you at that level? Because
like I said, I don't like care to think that I am or that I'm not. Like I'm never gonna get to that point where like I need to be known as comp. Like I said, when those tier lists happened last year, there was a lot of people that got so butthurt that they weren't put in S tier and then they weren't put in A tier and they're freaking out. And I'm like, dude, you're getting mad that other grown men are ranking you on your skill in a video game. Like what does it matter? You know what I mean? Like you know how good you are. So like that's all that should matter. Like you know what I mean? Like I get it all the time, bro. I'll play people and they'll be like, oh, dude, I didn't realize you were that good. And I'm like, yeah, because like I just don't care. Like I don't sweat on unlimited, but you tell me to sweat, okay, fine, I'll sweat. Like I had a guy the last time I played, he was like, yo, sweat me. And I was like, why? And he's like, cause I want to see how good I am. Fine. Then I beat him by 50. He was like, yo, dude, I didn't think you were gonna do that. And I'm like, well, point to it. You know what I mean? Like there's just, So like I don't really care either way. Like, I'll have the people that'll say like, oh yeah, Bio's really good. And then they'll say like, oh, Bio sucks. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like I go 12-0 every season without a problem. I just don't like playing. You know what I mean? Like I just don't like stressing out and playing the game because when I do that, that's how things get broken. So like
Hey, Bio, let's play. Let's have a series. Let's do it.
Here we go.
Just for fun. Just I want to see. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see.
Now we're gonna see Bio deal with a troll in real time. Like
when I get back, sure we can play.
These guys are one for the
tournament. Send the invite and we'll play.
All right.
I tried to play this stuff down, man. Like I'm definitely getting better at the game. I literally like the first 3 words and first 2 words in my Twitter bio are I'm average, right? Like I want that to be the narrative. Then I've got Jaquel constantly posting every 5 minutes saying you're above average now. And then you've got Josh starting like a comp jazz like hashtag. And I'm like, play this stuff down. It's so much harder being like that.
Yeah, my thing is you can't be average if you play this game for about a year. As soon as you've played this game for a year, you're above average. Like it's impossible to stay average if you play the game long enough. Straight up.
Yeah.
What if you actively tried to stay average and never tried to get better?
Well, then you're probably not having fun. You're probably not having fun if you just want to be average.
My thing is like, I don't know, like everybody always talks about the whole comp thing. And like, to me, like, I don't even think comp gameplay has really even been a thing since like 2K19, like pre 250K 2K19. there's like a few exceptions, obviously, like, you know, you have like Definitive, you have Isaac, you have Ty, like those are 3 guys that are obviously like, you know, good at the game. You know what I mean? But you have all these other guys that are like, yo, I'm comp. And it's like, it's kind of easy to win when GOAT cards are flying out left and right. You know what I mean? When you have 99 overall cards everywhere, like, yeah, it's kind of easy. So it's like, even now you have these guys that everybody could shoot from half court. Everybody could do the stupid speed boost glitch thing. Like, I feel like comp nowadays is just who can exploit more. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily good at the game.
Agree.
So,
I feel like that's what they kind of like capitalize on. Like before, like a whole year ago, I used to like watch, you know, 12 and your 12-0 videos, the whole 5 minute. Like I tried everything, and I literally was just so bad at the game I couldn't even do it. And like I started watching guys like Ty, and I watched him. I'm like, and it's like we had like a small following. I'm like, I mean, this guy's off balling. Like I got so defensive. I'm like, yo, he's off. I used to get upset, but like you literally have to play a certain way to have success at the game. And it's like capitalizing on those exploits, which is like, I wish you could go back to the times where it's like you could run on-ball defense, you know, you could run plays. And like basically everybody's playing the same to have the same success. And I feel like that kind of takes away from the fun aspect of the game. And now it's like everything's just sweaty all the time.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like that was one of the things that I said that like I can't stand. Like I don't care. I'll say this all day, every day. I hate the fact that everybody tries, like when new cards drop, you know, people will push out the whole like, oh, this card's not comp, so don't use it. Like it's a video game. It's meant to be fun. When you try to push people to use the same cards every single game, and then you say, oh my God, all I do is match with sweats using the same cards every game. It's like the same people saying that are the same ones telling people to only use these cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, the thing is, it's like, if you go on a 12-0 run, you know, 11 out of the 12 people aren't going to be good. You know what I mean? And when I say good, like they're not going to be comp. They're going to be average players trying to play the game. So it's like, that's why I hate when people try to push out the whole like, oh, don't use this card because of this, don't use this card because of this. Like, let people use the card they have fun with. You know what I mean? And
I think people lost the whole vision of just it's your MyTeam. You know what I mean?
I agree 100%.
Comp team. It's comp team at the moment. Like,
this one thing that I said, people try to say that the E-League is what ruined the game. I think the 250K tournament is what ruined it. Because the second that came in, everybody was trying to find, you know, oh, what can I do to kind of cheese the game to score quicker or, you know, do whatever. So it's like last year you had deep hashing and the dribble glitch. This year you have the speed boost thing, and there's, you know, all the other stuff, that freaking post spin thing, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah, you guys teleport dunk. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
DBG was talking about this last week, actually. He was talking about the fact that, you know, everyone's kind of trying to be a sort of mini Ty, right? Like, you know, he's kind of influenced the kind of community so heavily on how to play the game. And he kind of said you're never going to beat Ty being like a second-rate version of Ty. And the kind of originality in the game has kind of gone out. And if people start kind of approaching the game in different ways, he was talking about people running plays and things like that. That's why kind of what will bring the uniqueness back to the game. Because we really are at that point now. At the end of every season, everyone's running 8 out of the same 10 players.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's like one of my favorite guys that I watch on Twitch and YouTube is RCA. Like,
yes, he is.
He's a great. He's such a I try to shout him out as much as I can because he's one of those guys that does bring original stuff to YouTube and to just the gameplay in general. He'll try to break down different playbooks and say, hey, if this is your play style, run this, you know, freelance with this playbook, and you'll get a lot of guys open here and here. Like, and
he's
I like
competitive. He's competitive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I like it. Like, that's the thing is too. Is what makes me laugh is like every year people say like, oh, I'm comp, but they're, like I said, they're running the best cards in the game. I mean, if you look at like this year's a little different, but if you look at like the previous years, like I've always ran like the most weird, you know, cards. Like I'll still use good cards, like, you know what I mean? Like I'll still use T-Mac or whatever. But like, I remember back in like 2K18 when everyone was like, oh, to be comp, you got to run Kristaps at center and you got to run this guy. Like I remember running the Diamond Shaq that couldn't shoot and then like Diamond Whiteside. Like it was just like, you know, I just
like had the different tiers.
Cards, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, Supermax, right? That's when they had the different tiers. That's
when
my team used to be fun.
I'm talking about like tournaments and stuff though, but yeah, like Supermax, if Supermax had a good point system, like that would actually be fun to see again, you know?
Yeah, Jomar just proved it in the qualifying. He just proved that it doesn't matter about what everyone else is using. He went and used Ben Simmons and he was carving up Ty Debo with that card, and
Yeah,
no
that's
one
what I'm
else
saying.
was
People
running.
forget
Yeah,
he's the 250K champ. So honestly,
yeah.
he is the favorite. Like if he qualified again and he won last year, right
Yeah.
now he should be everybody's favorite.
But he just proved with his lineup. He even had Diamond Rudy Fernandez on the bench come on and
Yeah.
was lighting it up,
He's a
and no
beast,
one
though.
else was. Yeah, but like for 250K,
I
no
ran
one
him.
was running that card.
No, I was running him. He was good. Yeah, he's good.
Simmons looked good though. Like, and I'd never seen anyone use Simmons like that. Like no one else was even trying to use him like that.
Yeah. See, my whole thing too is like the 250K tournament. Like, I've even talked to like 2K devs about this and tried to get them to like switch it, because it's like the tournament is definitely more about luck than it is about skill. Because like you have guys like Isaac that haven't qualified yet, and you have guys like Ty that it took an extra week for him to qualify just because he gets stalled. You know what I mean? Like you could be winning by 100 every game, but if you're getting stalled, somebody that's getting rage quits faster is gonna qualify, which I think should not be, how it is. And then you get to the actual tournament, and like I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, whoever won shouldn't have won, but like there's a lot of people that have lost that like I feel like they only lost because of lag. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to play these guys on different servers, and now you have one guy that clicks a button and it's like that, and then you have another guy that clicks a button and it takes 2 seconds for him to move over. You know what I mean? Like, and that has an effect. So
yeah, we were literally talking about this earlier. Like the whole format is just. I literally tried the qualifiers for the first time this week, and I really just did it just to see the format of it, and it just makes no sense. It makes like zero sense. I mean, I do not understand how. Like you could be the best player on the planet, and it doesn't even need to be close, and you can still not qualify.
Yeah.
So,
like my thing with qualifiers is I haven't really tried to qualify. Like I've played in them 4 times now. I think it was 4 times. Yeah. So I've played 4 times. And like I said, I don't even care about qualifying. People just every week or every time they're like, dude, stream it. I'm like, all right, whatever, So like last year, I tried the 3rd week, and I went 13-0. I was top 10, and I won every game by 40. But because I didn't get any rage quits, everybody kept stalling me. I didn't qualify, right? So then the next time I was 9-0, and it was the same deal. I was just blowing everybody out, but nobody would quit. So again, I wasn't close to qualifying. So I was like, whatever. I just stopped playing with like an hour left. And then last year too, I actually played the 2nd week, and I lost on a buzzer beater to somebody that qualified, which that was. But then this year I tried one of the weeks, and I was number 3. Like I was 3rd in the world. And then I won a game, the kid quit, and I got an error code, and it error coded me out. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the tournament is so flawed that it's just like, it's so frustrating to play. Like it just.
How much time was left when you was number 3?
I mean, it was still kind of early on. Like, how long is it?
That's
like
good
4
momentum,
hours?
but that's good momentum though. Like,
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It was probably like an hour and a half in, and I was number 3, and I was like 6 or 7 games in, and so.
I'm about to get.
You heard about TJ
now?
You heard about TJ?
Yeah.
I heard that he was
TJ's
like
one of my
number
best
1.
friends. Like I hated the fact that happened. Like I love TJ. Like,
It was the
TJ
first qualifier, right?
What?
He was like number 1, right? And then there was like 20 minutes left in the qualifier.
Yeah, and he got error coded, and he got booted out. I don't even blame him either. Like
bro.
He didn't want to play after that. And people were getting mad. I'm like, dude, like, because he understands it's not about money all the time. It's more about like the principle behind it, where it's like, it's just kind of stupid, like.
Yeah.
Bio, like having you on, it would be kind of like remiss of us not to ask you about your kind of growth over the last sort of year or so. I mean, we asked this question to a lot of people. Like, what was the point where you think you kind of broke as a YouTuber? Like, could you pinpoint that exact moment?
Like where I hit the stride and just started growing like crazy.
Yeah.
Well, probably like last year, obviously. That was like the biggest, jump. I went from like, I think I started the year with like 16K, and I ended up at like 57K. So like that was kind of like the big jump as far as the year. But it was probably like the No Money Spent series that I did, because the 40 to 50K thing just like went like that. Like, I mean, like literally like I hit 40K, and then like within a week I hit 50K, and I was like, what the hell happened? Like, you know what I mean? Like it was just like, when I was like, all right, well, that works, so.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of sort of up and coming YouTubers that watch this. We get a lot of comments from people who clearly have their own channels and things like that. Like, do you have any advice for them? Like, we often get the advice, like, be consistent. Do you have anything outside of that? Like anything different? Like,
I mean, well, I was going to say, normally it's just literally just be consistent and be original. I mean, like the reason why I say that though, is because there's so many like copy and paste channels, I feel like, that are out here, you know what I mean? Where you know, that's how people, everybody's going to find their growth their own way. See, like me as a person, I will never take like a handout. I'll never ask for a shout out. I'm all for like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've gotten shout outs from guys like Carlos, Caldy, you know, Shake, Cash, but they were never asked. You know what I mean? And it's not even like they really, I'm not saying they didn't do anything. You know what I mean? But like my channel has come from me working, you know, on spotlights and, you know, everything like that. So like, my whole thing is I see people always try to be like, hey man, I have this channel, you know, can I get a shout out? Like, you want to collab? Like, you know, I'm all for collabing, but like, it's the, hey, shout me out, you know, get me started. Like, just do your own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see people trying to grow on Twitch the same way. They'll go into someone's Twitch stream. Hey, I have a stream too, you know, follow for follow, or, you know, hey, I have a stream, mind hosting me or rating me after this? Like, don't ask. Like, just,
Yeah.
you know,
I
do your
understand.
thing. And
I remember too, like when I watched RJ's stream and I tried to collab with Bio, and at the time I was like, even now I'm still growing. I understand what you mean when you say like be original, because for one, I want to be able to enjoy like what I'm doing. So like I kind of eased off the whole trying to grow fast. It's like I see my following growing and I'm still trying to figure out like what's original, what's not. So like that bit of advice is definitely helpful. And I think consistency is a thing, because Jazz has been really consistent. And literally I met Jazz like a month or two ago. He was at 100 subs. Right now, he's closing in on me. I'm at 756. He's at 600, picking up momentum. So definitely being original and like, you know, being consistent, I definitely feel like it's like the best advice to give anybody.
Right.
Even though it's like the most basic one.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Like for me, it's just like, I don't have a strategy. Like you've got a clear strategy, right? In what you do. Like I think you have a plan and you have a schedule, and I know you upgraded all your equipment and kind of you put all this. And I need to get to that point with it really, because like right now I could literally be just taking a leak. I have an idea and suddenly I put a video out. Like that's literally my creative process.
Well,
like, yes.
To me, like I think like when you are still like kind of starting out, like I think that is kind of the time to do some stuff like that. You know, to kind of, you know, jump at different things to see, you know, what clicks. And I think people really get the I think they get it twisted when like, you know, people say like, oh, be original. Like you're not, you know, when I say be original, don't like, you know, don't take that as in like, oh my God, like somebody did a tip video, so you can never make that tip video again. It's like, no, you know, make that tip video, but like do it your own way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like people get kind of twisted. Like, cause I see people say like, oh, I don't know if I should do gameplays, because everybody's doing gameplays. Everybody kind of does the same style of gameplay where they just try to score as many points as they can. You know what I mean? You have guys that do different things where like, you know, HDB makes his, I love watching his gameplay sometimes because like, I don't really watch 2K YouTubers like that, but like I watch his sometimes because like he makes them into a movie. You know what I mean? Like you feel like you're a part of that gameplay when you're watching it, you know?
Yeah.
So like that's always good. Denver, like I love Denver. He's my guy. I mean, he gives me anxiety sometimes watching his videos every 5 seconds. So like sometimes I get a little nervous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's
like,
the Energizer Bunny gameplays.
Yeah,
like,
but like what I'm saying is like that's what I mean. You keep it original. You know what I mean? Then you have guys like Ty and DVG that kind of break down the stats, the badges, you know, and they kind of, you know, they give you more of like an in-depth take. You know what I mean? So like that's where I mean, where it's like if you're gonna do gameplays, do it. You know what I mean? But just do it your own way. You know what I mean? Like, you just try to. My
approach is showing you how bad that card can really be in the wrong person's hands. Like, that's what I like about HTB. I actually watched his Kenrich video last night, and he's quite unique in the cards that he selects as well.
Mama.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but like HTB is like a, you know, he did it. He blew up because he had that original, you know, thing to him too. Like like I said, his gameplays, you weren't just like, oh, here's the card, he scored this many points. You know what I mean? Like, I remember me and him were like, I quit my YouTube channel like a long time ago when I had like 4K subs, and he had 8K. And I remember me and him still like talked a little bit. We had this like group chat going on. And like I said, he only had 8K. And I remember he said, he's like, I'm going to make it, you know, without a face cam. He's like, everyone tells me I can't make it without a face cam, blah, 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 blah. And like, I liked his energy, you know, how he was like, oh yeah, people say that. Well, I'm going to prove him wrong. And he did, you know, he hit like 220K or whatever before he started using a face cam. And like, that's the type of people that I think too, it's important to like associate yourself with, you know what I mean? When you're trying to grow, because you need that energy. You don't want to be with people that are like, yeah, man, it's great, just keep doing your thing. Like, no, you want people to push you, you know what I mean? Like, you want people to be there to be like, you know, it's great, but it can be better, you know, always just try to push, you know, like.
Guys is like, and it's crazy that when I first, like, once again, I met Jazz, he had less subs than me, and I felt like Jazz knew more about what he was doing more than I did, and it's like, I'm still learning from him. Like, there's so much, like, just like, the way he goes about, like the way he thinks is so creative, like the way he comes up with these videos is like he helps me with my content. I'm not gonna lie, like the way I make my content as of recently, he's definitely helped me, push that out like that. So like like you said, keeping the right people around you, and like even Jakel too, like even with his videos is so dope. So dope,
Yeah.
man. So like
I mean,
having the right people around
we're
you.
in a super fortunate position, right? Like we kind of stumbled into this podcast, and like, right now, like I said this to you yesterday on the call bio, it never gets any less weird that you're talking and I can talk back to you. Like that's never going to get any less weird. Like I've been watching you talk at me for a year, right?
Yeah.
So that's something
I mean, I know how that is. Like I like the one thing that I can always like talk about that like I like understand from is like the day that like I remember in 2K17 when I just started my channel and I had like 200 subs, right?
Yeah.
And I randomly matched with Cash in a game.
Yeah,
Random, and I talked to him and he started screaming at me through the mic, but it was for his own video. So, he's going crazy and I'm like, oh my God, like this is weird, And like to go from that to then 3 years later to be in a party with him and talking to him in DMs and everything like that, it was like, oh my God, like, like not to be like a fanboy, but it was just like, he was one of the people that got me into YouTube. So like, I get it, like.
Yeah. You told me that kind of cool story yesterday, right?
Yeah.
About Cash. Like
that's one of my that's probably still like a top 3 video I ever made was when we played. And like I said, I was all nervous in the first half and it was supposed to be a Kobe thing. Like it was supposed to be like his video title was like, oh, my opponent has Kobe Bryant, and I had Kobe in the entire first half. And like I was so nervous that I was playing so bad with Kobe that I was like, nah, I can't do this, So I subbed Kobe out, I put T-Mac in and I greened like 8 or 9 shots in a row, and he like freaked out. And I remember watching his video back, and he was tweaking. He's like, "Dude, how is this guy greening so many shots?" And like he was like, losing his mind. And like I remember we got into a party afterwards. He's like, "Nah, dude," he's like, "You got to be cheating or something." I'm like, "Nah, I just know his release." He's like, "Nah, man." He's like, "You greened 100% smother." I'm like, "I had sharp takeover. Like that's what you do, Yeah, it was a really fun. That was like a fun video because I remember I got so hyped. Like I knew like. The final shot that I hit, I knew it was going to make him quit. So when he quit, like it just felt so good, Like watching him do all those 2K15 wagers and like making guys like Jesser quit, for me to make him quit, it was just like, So,
that was dope.
It was nice. Yeah.
This is kind of a hard left, really, but I don't think I'm ever going to get this opportunity again to talk about like metal music with a 2K YouTuber.
Yeah.
This entire community is like
they're all about
it. I love hip hop as well, but yeah, you are like a certified metalhead, right? Like you come on.
Well, for the most part, yeah. I mean, like I have a rapper tattooed right here, right? But then I have a tattoo here, here, and here that are all for rock music. Oh, and on my arm that I'm holding my phone with. But yeah, it's all about rock music for me. That's
like you wear the Biohazard shirt on like half your streams, right? And everyone keeps like, is it connected to?
Well, yeah. See, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I first bought that shirt, I didn't even know they were a band. Like at first I did it, I just saw it and I was like, "Yo, that's me." So I was like, "I'm gonna buy that." And then my grandfather was like, "That's a band," and I was like, "Wait, really?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I listened to them. I was like, "No, they're not that bad." Like, okay. Like, I had no idea. I was just like, yeah.
Who are some of your favorite like sort of rock metal artists?
I mean, of all time, like old 3 Days Grace before they switched their singer. Linkin Park is always going to be one of my favorites, no matter what. That's actually what the tattoo is for on my arm.
Is it a Chester tattoo?
Yeah, well, sort of. It's like a One More Light theme. It's an angel coming out of a candle.
Oh, wow.
But I'm getting my back done, and it's gonna be like Chester's gonna be like a portrait of him on one side, and then it's actually gonna be NF on the other side, and then there's gonna be a bunch of stuff for bands that have kind of helped me through a lot of stuff. Like I have a Shinedown tattoo right here, but yeah, so it'll be so like Shinedown, Breaking Benjamin, Five Finger Death Punch, like all those sort of bands are like definitely my favorite.
I think I've seen all of them live like multiple times. Like
I mean, I met Five Finger Death Punch. That was probably one of the weirdest and coolest days ever. I went for my birthday, and like, you hear them on stage, and you're like, oh my God, like they're gonna be like violent, and then like I go back and they're like, hey man, happy birthday, dude. I'm like, what? Like, really? Like, okay,
Yeah, I was at like a few years back. I was at Download Festival in the UK, and I was at their show where they basically got shut down. So like 5 minutes into the gig, they basically invited the fans onto the stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's 100,000 fans. Think about this for a second. So
I
people,
know, yeah.
it was just
I
like
got
Russians. They got shut down after 5 minutes. Like that was it.
That's why I like. I mean, I don't know. People always say like, oh, like rap concerts are the best, country's the best. I'm like, dude, like you'll never have a different experience. Like rock music, like you just have the most unique stuff happen at concerts. Like I've seen people in wheelchairs crowd surf. Like
yeah.
Saying, like, it's weird. Like it's awesome because you're like, I love it. Like. You know what I mean? Like things happen that you just don't expect, and like that's why I love it. You just, it's a new experience every time.
I haven't done this for a while, but yeah, I used to actually. I was in a metal band for like 4 years. That was actually my job, so I was like the vocalist in a metal band. I was really fortunate to tour the world. We toured South America, North America, everywhere. I haven't done this for 4 years, but if you want to check out my band, they're called Man of Kin. Go check them out. Like, yeah, we're kind of hard, bit Pantera. That's where we're at. But yeah, it's definitely dead.
Pantera's another good band too. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet for Lensamo, that was weird. That was like super weird because he was.
Yeah. I don't know if you know who like Saving Abel is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I actually saw them like the summer before COVID and everything hit. But like when I saw them, it was like such a small venue that it was weird, and like I still feel bad to this day. So like, me and my ex-girlfriend were just walking around, and I'm like looking at the bar at the concert place, and I'm like, is that the dude from the band? And he was just sitting there, like no security, nothing. I'm like, and we kind of fell off. But I was like, so I ran up and I was like, hey man, like, and like I told her I was like, I'm not gonna be starstruck, but I ran up and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. And then like I still feel bad because I was like, yo, I remember watching you on like at the MGM Grand in Vegas, and then I was like, oh, now I feel bad because like you were in Vegas and now you're like here. Like, sorry, like my bad. But I was like, this is really cool, man. Can we get a picture? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, cool.
Yeah. They're generally quite cool. I haven't met anyone like in that world that isn't just generally quite a nice guy. I mean, they're too drunk and too.
Oh yeah,
too happy to
depends
really
who you meet. Because some of them are pretty crazy. But like I'm not even lying. Like when I met Five Finger Death Punch, they opened the door to like their like meet and greet area, and like a fog of smoke just came out. It was straight weed, just like bam. And I was like, oh no. Like,
yeah, that's why they're so nice. That's why they're so chill.
Yeah. Well, that's why I walk in, they're like, hey, happy birthday. I'm like, oh god. It was so weird though, because like for real, like I met them, they were so cool, and then like an hour later he comes out with a pipe and starts hitting the stage. He's like, everybody get up. And I'm like, what happened here? I'm like, what changed? Because like now you got like a handprint tattooed on your face, all this stuff. I'm like, oh my god. Like,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was like that. I was completely out of my depth. But we our first sort of South American show we played in Brazil, and you can see what I'm like, and I'm like an absolute psycho on stage, like an absolute.
What's the name of the band again? I gotta check it out.
I'll tell you later. He's gonna start putting it on in the background. Maybe I'll get some royalties for that. I don't know. But yeah, like
there was your band. You can't get copyrighted, I don't think.
Well, yeah, I can make some money. I'll get these guys to pay for it. Yeah, there was actually points where I threw up before I went on stage. Like I was so nervous, and then like the switch just hit. Different people.
See, I don't know if I'd ever be able to do that. Like I've like the thing is like the most people I've ever streamed for in one stream was 2,700, and I think it's like the thing is like if you were to even take 100 people and put them in front of me, I would be like like I wouldn't be able to tell them. If I'm just sitting in my own like element and I'm just talking into a webcam, like I'm fine. Like
yeah. All right, Bio, we got to talk about the Warriors before we end this. Steph Curry in particular. So let's go in game first. When do you think we're going to see a Galaxy Opal, Steph?
Hopefully soon. All I'm going to say is I feel lied to because that was kind of hinted that the Retro 2 is going to be the Galaxy Opal Kobe or Galaxy Opal Curry, and that just never happened. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully the next ones. Hopefully the next Retro.
Yeah.
Hopefully next Retro.
I don't know. I think like I don't think he'll be a rewards card again. You know what I mean? I think he'll definitely be in packs. So it'll probably be like an idols card. I think that'll drop. Yeah. They might try to do players that are in the league. So this one could be like, we already saw AD. So now we can see Curry. We could probably see like, I was gonna say Kawhi, but that wouldn't make sense. But like, so probably an idols player. Yeah.
Who's your predictions for the rewards next season?
I don't know. I have to sit down. Normally what I do is I sit on 2KDB for like an hour and I try to like from like last year and I just go through those cards and I'm like, all right, that one makes sense. The only thing is that I'm like super confident on that I've been confident for a while is I think it's going to be D-Rob as like the level 40.
Lock in?
Yeah, a lot of people.
No,
say
the
this.
level 40. I think it's going to be D-Rob.
Oh, that actually, like you think
And
it
I'm just
does
saying,
matter?
and not to be this guy, but I predicted Wade and Kawhi back to back. So like, I'm going for the three-peat here. Like,
I thought D-Rob was gonna be the idol. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking D-Rob as the idols lock.
he could be.
It
The
doesn't
only
matter.
reason why, like, I just think it's going to be so far for D-Rob to drop for idols that like, I don't know. We haven't seen a good D-Rob, so like, I'm assuming it's going to be the level 40 thing, but who knows?
Yeah, my prediction is Galaxy Opal Giannis or Galaxy Opal Kobe. I think it's got to be a really like widely popular card because a lot of people did lose interest in the XP season.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Isn't Yao an idols card?
Yeah.
He's the lock one.
Okay, yeah. So never mind. I don't know about Curry then. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I'm so far away from this game that I don't even know what's coming out every season.
How do you feel the Warriors are getting on, man? And more importantly, maybe next season, how do you think they're going to get on once Clay's back?
I mean, they're doing better than people.
See, the thing is, Steph is playing like so good right now, like to the point where like it's arguably better than the 2016 season. So like it kind of annoys me that he's playing like insane like that, and it's like efficient, but like we're not winning. Like it's just like the fact that he dropped 56 the other day and they lost. Like,
yeah, that's tough.
Tough. Me and my fiance were watching that game and she's like, "It's okay because he dropped 56." I'm like, "But they didn't win. Like, it doesn't matter. They don't win. It doesn't matter." Like,
yeah. Do you think they're gonna have a good run next year?
For sure.
I mean, I think we could have had a good run this year as long as Clay didn't get hurt. So like, if Clay stays healthy, then you probably. I mean,
I think I liked when I don't know. I'm pretty sure you saw this. There was like a Damian Lillard had made a comment on Steph Curry, and I liked how the next time they played, Curry sunned him. Like, Curry sunned. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I wasn't a part of the people saying like, "Oh, Damian Lillard's better than Curry," because for one, the only reason Lillard is shooting from as far as he is because Curry started.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but like when Curry did that, I was like, Damian Lillard.
It is a bit odd watching Curry now kill because I'm used to watching him when he drops 40, 50, the Warriors win by 30. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's why
so used to that.
Yeah, where
must be so odd.
Where do you think Curry ranks in terms of like influence in the game? Me and Josh were having this conversation literally like 2 days ago. We were trying to rank like the 10 most influential basketball players. So not the greatest, people who influence the game.
As far as influential, I think, I would put him top 3, but like he has to be top 5.
Yeah, I would put him top 3 as well. For sure.
Yeah, because like people don't understand, like
game,
whether you like or hate him, people like even kids are shooting from half court and doing all this stuff, and they always say Curry range, like it's him. You know what I mean?
Literally,
like
like in the UK, like no one plays basketball here really, but there's a couple of kids that play in my local park. But it's UK standard, right? So no one can actually play basketball here, but they're still hitting half-court shots. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like it's nobody drives in anymore. It's like the NBA switched. You know what I mean? The minute the Warriors started shooting, which was obviously because of Curry, like all these different teams, like the Rockets started running their offense like that, where they were like, "All right, let's just only try to just chuck threes." The Blazers started doing it, like.
I'm about to troll you real quick, but the only reason Curry started shooting from so far is because LeBron is in the lane and he doesn't he doesn't want that type of
problem. I knew it was a bad idea having you on this call.
It's funny though because like every time Curry has a good game, obviously I'm not shy when it comes to tweeting out about Steph being the greatest point guard ever. And it's funny because people are like, "I can't tell, are you joking or not?" And I'm like, I don't even know at this point. I'm like,
it's just what bio says. Yeah.
I mean, it's an argument though, because like I still say Magic, but Stephen Curry can't make that argument because of like he like literally changed the game, like even to the point where somebody like LeBron is shooting limitless range threes. Like he literally invented that badge. Like Curry literally invented that badge in 2K, limitless range. Like we would not have that badge. It wasn't
like it's kind of like the thing is like. I remember even back to 2K, or 2K. I remember back to 2016, like those finals. I remember watching one of the games and like LeBron dribbled up and then just stepped back. And as he was shooting like this deep ass three, I like looked at my ex-girlfriend. I'm like, if that goes in, we lose. And then he hit it. And I'm like, and we lost. He's like, all right, there's still like 5 minutes left. I'm like, the thing is like LeBron, you have to be, you have to kind of build like a mini wall to get him to not score in the paint. And
Yeah.
if he's just doing that, it's over. Like, there's
Yeah.
literally nothing. Yeah, like.
Yeah, he
But it's the same thing with Curry, though. If you see him start dribbling and he hits like a mean step back three, like, you know, there's
you're in trouble.
Just getting started. He just getting started.
Yeah, I mean,
He
I
did
would
a
say
little-
it's over.
The little
but-
shoulder thing. He did a little shoulder dance.
Yeah. That was the game we lost, though. He hit a logo three, dropped 56, and yeah, we lost by 4. And I'm like,
Yeah, I think they're going to be dangerous next season. I think the Warriors. I think they're going to.
Wiseman was a good pickup. Like they needed a big man badly, and Wiseman, I feel like that was a good pickup.
If he lives
yeah,
up to that
100%.
Bosch hype, because that's the comparison he's getting, right? Like, you know, you're talking Curry, Clay, and Bosch.
yeah, I think the dumbest thing I think I saw was that somebody said Wiseman's going to be the next Giannis, and I'm like, like, dude, like, that's why I hate it, because some people, like some Warrior fans that are out there, they say some things, and I'm like, this is why people hate us, because you say stupid stuff like that. Like,
my cousin was saying that they were gonna draft LaMelo, and I'm trying to explain to him the Warriors have no room. Like, what are they getting LaMelo for? They have Clay, they have Curry. The best option was literally James Wiseman. Like, I'm not even surprised.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
It
That's
was
literally
most
been their
obvious
thing. They needed a center, and I feel like he's that perfect center for them. Like, as he develops, he'll definitely do something in the league. You know,
He's potentially got the highest ceiling in out of those kind of three, Edwards and LaMelo.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know about that.
LaMelo's right now.
Because LaMelo's kind of
Playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
Playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah. It does generally take sort of big men a little bit longer, doesn't it, to get to that level? That's
well, yeah. I mean, the thing is like Wiseman also didn't play in college. Like, he just completely skipped. Like, he committed, but then COVID like stopped the season, so then like he just didn't really play. So
Right
like
out of high school.
Yeah, so like he didn't play a actual like organized game, and then the training camp got screwed up because he got COVID, so he didn't even train, and then he just got thrown into a game against the Nets. So like, you know, like.
Bio, what's your plans for the rest of this year, man? What were you hoping to achieve in 21? You
as far as my channel?
Yeah.
100K. That's literally all I ever wanted was that play button, you know? So like, I'm going to do what I have to do, you know?
What are we
this
getting
is like,
for 100K?
this part. Huh?
What are we getting? What kind of celebration? We shaving the hair?
Oh, I have
wax his head.
I got some good stuff. I'm getting a tattoo though when I hit 100K.
Get KillaJosh right here. Get KillaJosh right here. Oh, no.
Yeah, I got you. Honestly, it's gonna be the YouTube logo, but then it's gonna be like stamped with like a Biohazard logo. So it'll be.
That sounds dope.
Perfect.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a
That's cool.
guys,
cool.
Bio's link will be in the description. So yeah, obviously, if you haven't done that right now, go and hit subscribe. You can come back to this later. It's not that important. But yeah, we're running out of time, Bio. Thank you so much, man, for coming on. It's been a blast. These are so fun, but this one's been particularly fun.
Oh yeah, this is like I said, I love doing stuff like this. It's fun.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it again soon.
Talk, so.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it again soon. 100%. Like, yeah, that was an absolute blast.
Yeah, whenever. I mean, next time it'll be better because I'll actually have my setup, so I don't have to sit on the floor with my phone.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, we appreciate you soldiering through, man. Yeah, thank you so much, man. We'll catch you next time.
All right.
Absolutely awesome to have Bio on, but that was like one of the funnest conversations I've had, like even outside of the podcast. It was an absolute blast. Like, he's hitting us up straight away saying he wanted to come back, so I think he enjoyed it as well. So that's a win-win, that one. Can't wait to get him back on. And again, guys, we're lining up a guest every week. We've got another ridiculously big guest next week. Is someone who hasn't been on the podcast before. I can't wait. Do I give a clue?
Of course.
Always.
Do I give a clue? Okay. As the 2K kind of space goes, like in terms of globally, he doesn't live that far from me. There you go. That's
I kind of gave it away. You didn't hear me? You didn't hear what I said? I kind of gave it away when I said
what did you say?
I said crossover.
That is Josh subtlety.
We'll just cut it out.
We are so amateur, it's not even funny. Anyway, let's move on quickly. Yeah, he's gonna be on the podcast next week. If you don't figure that out, like, honestly. Right, so season is coming to an end, guys. That's where we're at now. It's time to do a couple of things, I guess. One is look to next season. And the second thing is to look at the season that's just gone. So we do this every week, but I think we're better placed now than ever before to do this. We asked Bio about it as well. Who are we expecting for the 3 main rewards next season? So XP agenda, limited, unlimited.
Well,
saying
my predictions, my prediction level 40 is going to be, it's to be a superstar.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say Kobe because I want Kobe.
Yeah.
Limited's going to be, I don't know. You already know Limited, Unlimited are going to be underwhelming. Kevin McHale's brother or something like that. I don't know. It's going to be something. It's going to be something that doesn't get me excited, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but,
some doctor.
Yeah, some...
some random profession.
Come on, man! Like, give us Kobe for the unlimited reward. Do you know how hyped Unlimited would be if they did that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I know there would be a lot of sweats,
sweaty?
but
yeah,
but that's how it is, man. Like, that'll be a reward that everyone will want, and that's how you get hype in the community. It'll be sweaty, but it'll die down at some point. Like, the sweats are going to get their Kobe.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Mikhail was a good reward. I know you're not too fussed, but he's a good card. You know, he was Larry Bird's kind of partner in crime. Like, you know, he was a good card. I think he was definitely the best unlimited reward they've had, you know, in comparison to cards out at the time. But yeah, they need to step it up. We've said this before. The unlimited reward should be the best reward. XP or not, right? Like, XP or not.
Or just the superstar player, someone that, like, you know, gets you hyped. You know, I didn't watch Kevin McHale, like, and I bet you 90% of this community didn't watch Kevin McHale. You know what I mean? So, like, get us someone who gets us hyped, man. Like, even like even a Deron Williams Pink Diamond Galaxy Opal next season for Unlimited would be hyped, like, compared to what we've had.
Yeah, I mean, for XP, like, I've been saying this for a week now.
Galaxy Opal Paul George for XP.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Galaxy Opal.
PG would be nice.
Shooting guard, small forward. Galaxy Opal PG, 6'9". Gonna go crazy.
That's a possibility. Yeah, AK could be a possibility as well.
AK would be nice, yeah. There's so many good players. That's the thing. Like, with that level 40, they haven't really missed with the level 40. I think only Blake Griffin was the biggest letdown, I reckon, of all the.
I mean, but he was still OP as hell.
He was still a monster, yeah.
He was
still nice, but, like, I reckon the carry was on fire. That was a nice card. Kawhi's been nice, and, like, D-Wade obviously he's still a machine. So, like, they do well with level 40 rewards for a reason, because that's their money grab. But, like, just give us a superstar for Unlimited, and for Limited they have to for one Limited it has to be a real player. You know, like one that we can actually use.
What if we get a point guard Ben Simmons 98?
Oh, that could be possible because we're getting into God tier cards. So, like, Ben Simmons is a good one too. That for level 40.
Yo, if they do that, oh my god!
Don't be surprised.
Yo, I've
got a card that I think. I mean, if they don't make it either limited or unlimited, they messed up. There is a card that is just missing right now, and kind of no one's kind of picked up on it. DeRozan needs to be one of those rewards.
Oh yeah, he could be up there. Yeah,
he is a T-Mac clone. I mean, that free token reward last year was one of the best cards in the game. Like, 100%. Everyone knows how good that card is. It will crash T-Max value, which, you know, 2K love to do. They love to crash a card's value. I can see DeRozan being either limited or unlimited because we know how popular that card is.
Please, limited at least. Limited. I reckon he's good limited.
Limited is going to be Galaxy with John Morant. That's what they're going to do. Right, Jazz? Galaxy.
That's a good shout. That's a good shout.
That would be cool.
I would hate that, though. Like, I would have to use the card, though, just to, you know, fight fire with fire. Because if you thought Diamond John Morant was AIDS, you didn't see Galaxy Opal Jar.
Well, I literally saw a comment on Twitter today. People were saying Westbrook is the Galaxy Opal Jar.
Nah, not even close. John Morant's jump shot is better. He has that Paul George release.
Everyone's jump shot is better. I'd rather be shooting threes with Yao Ming.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't even get the chance. You wouldn't even believe that.
All right, guys. Let's take a look back at this season. So I wanted to run through a couple of awards, right? Let's see if we could where we land on these, because I think we're going to disagree on some of them. Maybe not. I'm not even going to bother with the best free card, right? It's Kawhi. We all agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Do you agree, Josh?
Maybe not, only because of how much work you got to put in. I'd probably say Terry, just in terms of not his skill, but like in terms of like.
You say Terry because of the amount of work you have. People have played 2,000.
It's random. I know it's random. No, it's random. No, I mean Kawhi's guaranteed, but it's a lot of work. If anything, I'll probably say Jack Marin, because Jack Marin is almost guaranteed, and he's pretty good. I'd say
that's what I was going to ask. If it's not Kawhi, Who was the second best free card? So you'll say Jack?
Yeah, I'd say Jack.
Yeah. Just depends off the criteria what you're going off. Like, but in terms of the card, it's Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
And then, but then I'd go Terry or Jack. It depends. Jack's just got the better release, so like, but Terry has like the all round. Like he's a similar
Showtime Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame range. So yeah.
Guys, do we all prefer Jack to Terry?
Nah,
I did
know.
just because of the release. I did because of the release. His release is money. That's a chicken release.
I don't know. Terry though, like Jack Marion hits a lot of whites and greens for me. But like since I've been using Terry, I don't know, like just moving around screens and like watching Jaquel's video and getting to that, like you said, get to that open spot on that screen. Yeah. Chicken. Not a green, but it's good. Right, Jazz?
I finished that sentence for you now. All right, let's work from like lower tier to higher tier. I'm going to leave out rubies and stuff. What best amethyst card this season? For me, there's a clear winner.
I didn't use that much amethyst.
For me, it's MPJ.
Oh shoot, yo, right, MPJ and Dino run out.
Yeah, Dino like that was the argument. Yeah, I don't.
MPJ though is tough.
Yeah,
he'd be a good Galaxy Opal card too, because like you just threw clamps on him. He literally had no other defensive badge, and he still played like he had those other defensive badges. He's gonna be a good card. Yeah. When we get an MPJ, he's gonna be a really good card.
Well, his splits 100%. Make him like a pink diamond, right? Like,
yeah, he's gonna be a really good card when he gets an Opal or a pink diamond.
Yeah, I mean, there's some Evo cards as well. Like there's Brad Davis and there's a few others now that kind of Evo from amethyst to pink diamond, but they don't really get OP until they get there. Best diamond?
Rudy Fernandez, without a doubt.
That's
Rudy Fernandez, not even close.
Rudy.
Is there anyone else in the conversation?
My Rudy, JR, and that Petrie. Those are the best diamonds I used.
Little Petrie.
Petrie.
That from this week as well, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Rudy was just, I mean, he was running, like everyone had like 9 Galaxy Opals and Rudy, right? Like,
actually, and that Diamond D Wade is nice. He's not far off from that Galaxy Opal. He's not far.
It's only his positioning. His position is what kind of stopped him, but like he's still pretty good though.
Yeah, he doesn't run a point guard, right?
Nah, shooting guard, small forward.
How close is he to the Opal?
He's not too far off. Couple Hall of Fame badges and stats.
But yeah, because you can't play him at point, he's almost unusable because every elite shooting guard's like 6'6" now.
Okay, most disappointing card of this season.
Westbrook, obviously Westbrook.
It's got to be It's got to be Westbrook. If they just gave him a quick release, he's elite. And Showtime. That's all they need.
That's it.
They know what they were doing here. They know what they were doing.
It's Westbrook.
They literally sat there and thought, how can we make this card so great and take things away from him to make him so bad?
Yeah.
Oh, no Hall of Fame Showtime, no more release.
Yeah, I'll take it another step. For me, personally, it was Kevin McHale because Unlimited is my grind. That's what I enjoy to play. And for that to be the reward, man, I'm sleeping. Like, come on.
You think he was the most disappointing card potentially?
For me, because I'm unlimited. Like that's what I enjoy on the game. Like I don't enjoy no triple threat.
I mean, the only center better than him when he came out was AD.
Yeah. But I'm not talking about the best, how good he is. Yeah, I'm not talking about how good he is. It's a disappointing card. It's just him as a player, all of that. Like, you know what I mean? If I'm grinding for LeBron James, for Kobe, for so many other players, there's so many other players.
So if it's like the exact same card, like everything about it was the same, but it was just in like Anthony Davis's skin.
If it was Anthony Davis, like for me, that's a disappointment to be Kevin McHale. Like you can make Kevin McHale. Yeah, it's just nah.
It's been
you got to give me something.
They're kind of giving these shine to these. Like we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, right? Dishinger came out of nowhere. Like, you know, Marin came out of nowhere. We didn't know who these players were. Like, it's been interesting. I mean, McHale was a bigger name, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Most underrated card.
Oscar Robertson. I've seen a lot of people sleeping on that card.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I worked people with that card. I was beating D Wade up with that card. Like he is crazy good.
Yeah.
For what he's doing.
Underrated card. I think once again MPJ, I would say put him there again only because of like how much he was going for as an amethyst. There's no way he's that good and only going for that much. Like, yeah, he was so good. He was so good. I even used him in a comp game one time and literally dropped somebody's LeBron off, Galaxy Opal LeBron's off for Michael Porter Jr. So like seriously, that's how good he is.
For me, it's Kyrie. I don't know what happened to this card. Like his release is a little bit baited, but it's not the end of the world. He's glitched, right? He's got every defensive badge on Hall of Fame. He has 98 defensive tendencies across the board.
Yeah.
He's
He is
arguably
elite,
the best defensive point guard in the game right now. Like it's him and Peyton, really. Like that's the conversation. I don't know why he got lost in the shuffle. What? Like I don't get it.
Just content, the content. Yeah, it's just the content and just probably wrong timing. You know what I mean? It's just timing of cards.
Should have came out the season earlier, maybe. You're doing pretty good.
But what's the issue with that card? Why is it?
Yeah.
Why is it
even just a couple of weeks? No, even just a couple of weeks earlier, it would have been popping. It was just
this is hype though. It's like because like one, he has the ability to get Showtime dunks.
Yeah.
I think had they boost up his tendency a little more on the flashy dunk end, he would have been a lot more valuable because he's like a taller Stockton in a sense.
Yeah, that's literally what I was thinking. Yeah. But Stockton got more hype than that Kyrie. I mean, it's glitched. Remember that? Like, he's just on steroids in defense. Like, it's a serious card. It's a serious card. All right, last one. Last thing we'll cover. Best buyable card from this season.
Lonzo Ball.
That's a strong take.
Lonzo Ball. And the reason I say that is because he's literally the most complete point guard in the game. He can score, he can facilitate, he can play defense. His Hall of Fame defensive badge is out this world. He has floor general and his frame. Like it doesn't get any better than that. I feel like you give Lonzo a defensive shoe, he can guard the 1 through 5, literally. The 1 through 5.
Yeah, I still best buyable's got to be best buyable's still got to be AD. He's probably the best buyable card on auction house that you can grab. You give me AD and I'm running him as point guard. That's how good he is. So.
For me, it's T-Mac.
T-Mac's up there.
I don't know how I mean, that card. I mean, like, it's funny. Like, the gameplay that I'm dropping today, which is yesterday, if you're watching this, like, I literally wasn't trying to run through T-Mac, and he still put up, like, 20 points. Like, and he got, like, 2 steals. Like, just having him on the floor, that length, his clamps, his release is just ridiculous. Like, Josh, you called him the full white machine. Like, he just doesn't miss. He does not miss. I think he's the best.
Release.
Yeah, outside of Kawhi, I think T-Mac is fun in the game. Yeah, cool. I think that's everything, guys. Are we good? Have we covered everything in like anything I've missed?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, cool. All right, guys. Well, that's the end of the episode again. Like, we've got a big guest on next week. Please like and subscribe. And as I say, guys, get the notifications on. These guys' channels will be on the screen somewhere. They're also in the descriptions. Obviously, we'll have bio stuff in there as well, so you can sub to him.
Make sure y'all get Jazz to 700 subs. Okay, he's on the road. He's closely approaching 1,000. He deserves it. He put this podcast together, edits the videos weekly. Show him some love. Comment. Share this with your friends, your mom, auntie, sister, whoever.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, all extended family, please. Yeah. Cool, guys. Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for that, Josh. We've had a blast this week, guys. Until next time, thanks for watching.